perspective, giving the child a voice in the story of their survival. Sometimes, they'd all meet up at a little diner for weekly dinners: Steve, Lisa, Kate, and Aiden. Conversations ranged from light-hearted banter about sports to heavier reflections on new corruption rumors. Lisa found comfort in the camaraderie, a small surrogate family where teasing flowed freely. She ribbed Aiden about his tragic luck in dating and poked fun at Kate's obsession with deadlines, while they teased her back about her teen crushes. In those moments of easy banter lay the promise of stability, a future reclaimed. Perhaps the greatest sign of normalcy came one morning when Steve walked Lisa to the school bus. As he stood there, watching the sun bathe the scene in golden light, he realized this was something he'd only dreamed of during his incarceration. No men in suits lurked nearby, just kids chattering, the hum of everyday life. He kissed her cheek, whispering, "Have a good day, sweetie." She hopped on the bus, waving with a grin so wide it told him everything he needed to know. Life had shifted for the better. The horrors of the previous year were receding into memory. One day, an official letter arrived. Expecting more legal red tape, Steve opened it cautiously. To his surprise, it was an invitation to an awards ceremony. The police department wanted to publicly clear his name and commend him for his perseverance in exposing corruption, a symbolic gesture meant to heal old wounds. He debated whether to attend. The betrayal had cut deep, but Aiden insisted. "It's a small step toward healing the department," he argued. Lisa chimed in, saying she wanted to see her dad recognized. After some thought, Steve agreed. The ceremony took place in a subdued banquet hall, attended by officers, city officials, and a smattering of press. The new chief gave a speech about confronting institutional flaws, acknowledging how Steve's ordeal served as a reminder never to let personal vendettas overshadow justice. Then they called Steve to the stage, awarding him a medal for extraordinary integrity and bravery. Applause echoed through the room. Standing there, Steve felt awkward, recalling how these same walls once scorned him. But Lisa, seated in the audience, clapped enthusiastically. He flashed her a grateful smile before stepping up to the microphone. Clearing his throat, he began, his voice trembling slightly. "I appreciate this honor," he said, "but let's remember Robert Sinclair, who died seeking the truth. Let's remember how quickly a good cop can become a scapegoat if corruption goes unchecked. May we never allow that again." The applause returned, this time carrying a weight of collective remorse and hope. In the quiet that followed, Steve walked off the stage, embraced by Aiden and patted on the back by a few honest officers. Kate snapped a photo of him and Lisa together, her arms looped around his waist, the medal glinting on his chest. That image ran in the local paper the next day, accompanied by the headline, "From Disgrace to Redemption, a Detective's Return." It was a fitting closure, though Steve didn't feel like the main hero. To him, the real heroes were those who had fought alongside him, the ones who refused to let the truth stay buried. In his mind, Lisa was the one who gave him strength. Aiden and Kate were the ones who believed in him. But the real hero was something far greater, the unyielding truth that had carried them all through the storm. That night, father and daughter celebrated quietly, ordering Chinese takeout and binge-watching an old detective show. They chuckled at how corny it was compared to real life. Lisa teased him. "So, Dad, is this how it was for you every day before you got framed?" He laughed, ruffling her hair. "Not quite so dramatic, but maybe a bit less mustache twirling from the suspects," she giggled, leaning her head on his shoulder as they finished the episode. Later, brushing his teeth, Steve caught a glimpse of himself in the mirror. The lines of stress were still there, etched deep into his face, but his eyes held a calmness that hadn't existed during his prison days. He saw a man tempered by heartbreak, anchored by love, forging ahead despite everything. Days later, he received an email from a publisher who had read Kate's articles about his case. They asked if Steve would consider writing a memoir about his wrongful conviction, the conspiracy, and the rescue of Lisa. He hesitated, unsure if he wanted to relive every moment in print. But Lisa thought it could help others. Maybe, Steve mused, deciding he'd do it with Kate's editorial help. For now, though, he had a backlog of investigations waiting. A mother claiming her son's fatal overdose was staged. A local business complaining of extortion. Each new case reaffirmed what he already knew. He'd found his niche, not as a cog in the departmental machine, but as an independent champion for the vulnerable. Champion.